Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my Xenon progression series. Today is weekly reset and I can't wait to do my bosses. The biggest thing that I wanted to go through and do is to do normal Lotus. If you guys haven't seen, in the previous video we managed to clear normal Lotus and we managed to get 3 cores from the boss drop, which sets us up to potentially having our full Absalab set today. What we're trying to do is we can clear Lotus one more time, and if we manage to get another 3 cores from the Lotus boss drop, then we'll be able to buy another 2 pieces of armor, which will set us up perfectly to have our entire Absalab set. We are currently only missing the cape and the shoes, and we may just get them today. But before we go through that, let's have a look at some of the things that I've done on the character so far. In terms of my equipment, nothing much has really changed. I did get my Afterlands totems, which is pretty nice. These add a fair amount of extra damage, and they're pretty easy to get. You just need to go through the Afterlands dungeon, and that takes about half an hour to about an hour, depending on how comfortable you are with the dungeon. The next thing that I've done is I actually set up my hyper stats. You can see here I actually swapped them over onto these proper bossing stats, and I realized that the last time I did Lotus and Damien, I was on the wrong ones. So you can see here it's actually a significant difference in combat power. At the end of the last video, I was just a little bit under 4 mil combat power, and now with the correct Lynx, Legion and Hyper skills, I'm sitting at 5.2 mil combat power. This puts this character in a really strong spot. I can actually probably go ahead and do a lot more bosses, especially some of the newer ones I haven't touched yet. I'm looking towards maybe doing even normal slime this week, but we'll just have to see how strong we are. Another boss that I managed to clear was actually Golix. So yesterday on stream, I managed to clear Golix, and it didn't actually take that long. It took maybe about 5 minutes to clear the boss, and we managed to get 27 coins from Golix. This will just slowly add up, and eventually we will get to our superior set. It might take a while because we do need 700 coins per piece, and we also need to hope for an earring drop and a belt drop. Ideally, I don't want to buy the earring or belt, but that's all up to luck, and my drop gear isn't exactly done. As you guys can see, the last time that we went through this, I'm on 2 lines of drop and 2 lines of meso. Anyway, that's enough talking for now. Let's go ahead and try to get our second clear in normal Lotus. If we get really lucky, we'll be able to get 2 pieces of Absalab gear, and I really hope we get that drop. And there we go, our normal Lotus clear is done. And here is the moment of truth. We're really hoping for at least 3 cores here to get our 2 pieces. I'm just gotta hope for the best here. Oh, unlucky, we only managed to get 2, but that's okay. This still guarantees us at least 1 Absalab gear, which is fine. And we'll just have to play with 4 until the next week. Unfortunately, we won't be able to have both of them ready for Shining Starforce to get them both to 17, but we do have some pieces of fodder that we can use. I have this cape here from Zakum that I can just leave at 16, and then once I do get the cape, I'll be able to transfer it up. We couldn't get the double 3 cores from 2 weeks, but that's okay. I'm just really happy that we can make progress on our Absalab gear. With the remainder of my guild skills, I'm going to go ahead and do normal Damien as well. For Damien, again, we don't really need anything for him. He's mostly there for the money. And eventually we'll get enough cores to be able to buy a weapon and upgrade a proper 17-star Abso weapon. But right now it's just not a priority. And with that, we also cleared normal Damien. We managed to clear both of those bosses within 20 minutes, which is a significantly faster run than last time. I'm not really sure if it was the equipments or if I was just getting more comfortable with my class. Maybe a bit of both, but overall a 20-minute normal Damien and normal Lotus is quite fast. And it's only going to get faster from here, and I'm really excited. I think with this damage, I might be able to attempt some new bosses at the end of this video. We'll just have to see. So I went ahead and finished up a few more rotations of Scrapyard to be able to get enough cores to buy my next Absalab item. I'll be able to trade in another 2 more coins here, thanks to the cores from Lotus and also the 40 or so calls we get from the weeklies. I'll probably have to do at least 2 more next week once we clear Lotus again to get another 2 coins. But for now though, we'll be able to buy our 4th piece of Absolab gear, which will be our shoes. Like I said, I have a cape already from Zakum that I can use to fodder, and for now, we'll just be using the shoes. I have a epic potential scroll that I got from my daily gift, and this will go perfectly onto the shoes as well. And alongside that, I will Starforce this up to 10, just so we can get a little bit more stat, and it will already be better than our current shoes anyway. So I'm going to spend some money buying some flames for the shoes. Xenon flames are a little bit annoying to do because they all require you to have all stat, and ideally with a bunch of extra stat on top of that. My pants here that I have in my inventory are a good example, with 40, 20 and 20 on the stats, and then 5% all stat. So this is a reasonable flame for Xenon, and the main thing that we are looking for is of course the all stat line. Overall flaming for Xenon, not exactly the easiest, but it is quite interesting to say the least. Okay, here we go. We got a decent flame here with 25, 25, 36, and then 5% all stat. I think this is perfectly fine for us to use at the moment. For me now, the next steps for my character, other than waiting for the Shining Starforce event, is pretty much just to train. Right now, I guess my main goal would be to slowly get up to 260, but I'm not really in a rush right now. I'm currently at 239, and I'm just trying to make sure that I can do all of my dailies as often as possible to try to finish up these arcane symbols. They do give a lot of damage, and most importantly, they give us arcane force, so then when we go to the higher bosses, we'll be able to do a little bit more damage to them. For example, for Will and Lucid, both of these bosses have a arcane force requirement, and if you can manage to get 1.5 times their arcane force, you do a little bit more damage. My current arcane force is 850, which puts me quite above what Lucid requires, so I should be able to do 1.5 times to Lucid. But again, I do want to try to get as much as I can, so then I can eventually go on to do the rest of the Arcane River bosses. As of right now, I don't think that I can clear any of these easy bosses between Easy Will and Easy Lucid. I think that after the Sunday, we have a really good shot at clearing a lot of bosses, so I'm looking forward to that. Alright, it is finally Sunny Sunday. It's time for us to Starforce some gear. I cannot wait to be able to make some gains, and it'll be very exciting. I actually just opened my recording, and the first thing I saw was this 22 Berserk, so congratulations to the guy in our guild who just hit the 22 Zerk right there. Pretty awesome. Let's start off with a few of our items. The main one I want to start off first, it will be the CRA gear, mostly because I want to replace my temporary gear as soon as possible, and then we'll move on to our Absolab gear after that. We're only aiming for 17 star to start, and depending on how we go, we'll see what we transition over onto. So let's start off with our CRA. Before we get too far, we started on about 9.6 bill, and let's have a quick look at our combat power. We're just about 6 mil combat power at the moment. We'll see how many gains we make after we finish our Starforcing. And there we go, we got all of our CRA pieces to 17, which is great. Cost about 1 bill, so it was relatively cheap thanks to the event. And on top of that, I decided not to safeguard any of the CRA pieces because I did have a few spare of each of them, so I wasn't too afraid of blowing them up and trying to get them back to 17. Overall though, very cheap, and very happy that these can finally replace our temporary gear. Now we don't need to worry about the temporary gear ever again. Next up, we're going to go towards our 3 pieces of Absolab gear. I'm going to try to 17 star these as well. The only difference between these and the CRA is I will have to safeguard these. I don't particularly want to do more Scrapyard and Darkworld Tree if I can help it. So let's see how much this will cost us to get to 17. And there we go, another 1.5 bill or so, and we managed to get all 3 of our Absolab gear to 17 star as well. I have a few more items I have in mind to Starforce. The next one will actually be this belt. I want to get this up to 16. That way when I eventually get a superior belt, I'll be able to transfer it across onto the superior belt immediately and save myself a little bit of money. This will be just a cheap gain, and while it's sitting at 16, it will give me a little bit of extra attack, which will be very nice. With the belt done, next up I'm going to be working on this Zakum cape. Once I get my Absolab cape, I'll be able to transfer it across immediately as well. There we go. Our cape also now is at 16. Overall, very successful Starforcing event. I've Starforced basically everything that I've wanted to. The CRAs to 17 and the Absolabs to 17 were my main goal anyway. I think we've spent so far a little bit over 2.5 bill, and we have 6 bill remaining. Given that it is still a Starforcing event, I do want to make the most out of this event. So what I'm going to do for the rest of my money is I'm going to try to roulette my CRA pieces to see how far they can go. I do plan on pushing the Xenon, so the CRA pieces are an easy push. We have a lot of spares. I think I have 2 or 3 spares at the moment after the CRA runs that we've done so far. So I'll just see how far they can go. I'm just going to go 18 on all of them and then 19, and then we'll just see how lucky we get. 6 bill is a pretty good amount. We can realistically see all of them go up to 18 and maybe even all 19. So there are a lot of gains to be made here. Let's just see how lucky we can get. Okay, we are at a pretty interesting position now. We managed to get all of our gear to 19 star. My pants, my top, and my hat are all currently sitting at 19, and I still have about 3 bill remaining. The reason why I think that this is going to be a bit scary is the gap from 19 to 21 is a bit of a jump. It gives you a lot of attack, but it also is a relatively low chance of hitting. 19 to 20 is a very difficult start to hit, and if I don't manage to get it to 20 on the next tap, I don't know if my 3.5 bill is enough for me to even recover it back to 19, but at the same time it is a Shining Starforce event, so it's very tempting to tap right here. I only have 2 spares of the hat and 2 spares of the pants, so my top is definitely going to stay. I only have 1 spare left, and the more that I think about it, I think the more I want to attempt this 20th and 21st star. In my opinion, if you go for the 19 to 20, you definitely go for the 21. Just the chances of hitting the 20 star is already so difficult. Once you hit the 20th star, you might as well go for 21 because the chances to get to 21 is actually quite high. I think let's go for it. Let's see if the hat can make it to 21. And that was a clean double tap to 21, guys. Holy, we finished our hat for this character. No need to worry about the CRA hat anymore for my Xenon. That is crazy. It just double tapped from 19 to 21. I kind of want to push my luck and go for the pants as well. Let's just see what happens. If nothing else, even if we came out with just the 17 star pants, I'd be pretty happy already. 21 hat is an insane gain. I can't believe it basically streaked. I think that hat actually streaked from 17 to 21 overall. Let's just see what happens with these pants. I'm not expecting too much. I'm already up ahead so much. Holy crap, it actually went to 21 as well. That was insane. I was originally just going to settle back at 19 after the first boom or so, because I only have 1 more spare. I just saw it go and I was just feeling it. Tapped it to 20 and honestly, that was really scary. It stuck on 20 for like 6 or 7 taps, didn't go anywhere, and I heard the background. Oh, speaking of the background, this guy hit 22. I heard the background go down or blow up and I thought that was my own pants. And I got scared a little bit, but hey, we got there with 21 pants as well. The only one left over are our top. And as much as I would like to tap this, I only have 1 spare. It is probably the correct play to leave it at 19 for the time being and just build up some more spares and not worry about it. Overall though, guys, insane gains. 2 items to 21 in this event. I'm so happy right now. This is going to hella boost our combat power for sure. And this will definitely let us do a bunch of new bosses. I have 1 build remaining. there's nothing really left for me to spend on, to be honest, and I guess it's just time for us to save our money and find out what next to spend on. With the remainder of my money, I think I'm going to spend it on cubes to try to make that hat usable. Same with the pants, but I don't exactly have that much money remaining. I can barely buy any of these cubes, so we'll just see if we can get anything to hit. I'm going to start off with the hat, mostly because the hat is already at unique. I think I tiered it up not too long ago with some of these hard cubes or something, and it doesn't have any potential lines at the moment, so let's see what we can get. Ideally it will get up to legendary, but I'm pretty happy with it just getting usable lines. So I managed to hit 2 lines of all stat and a bit of strength on the hat, and I think that is a really solid keep for the time being. It's basically 1 line of all stat on legendary, and that would probably be what I'd settle on the legendary line anyway. So I'm going to keep it at unique for the time being. I don't want to spend too much on cubing my other items because we do have a bunch of DMTs coming up in the next coming weeks, and I think with the remaining of the cubes I would rather put them onto my accessories instead of my other gear that will maybe push. As tempting as it is to try to get all these potentials fixed and all, probably be better to save our money for the DMTs coming up. With the remainder of these cubes, I think I'm going to try to put them on this earring to try to make them into meso gear or something. The rest of them are at epic, so I don't really want to try to tier them up just yet, but this unique one is getting kind of close, so we'll see if this can tier up. No tier ups on the last couple of cubes, but that's okay. I think with the remainder of my money, I'm happy to save that and use that for something else another time. With all of the gains that we've made so far in this Starforcing event, let's have a look at our combat power. I think we started on about 6 mil combat power, and now we are on 9.3. We gained a hell of a lot of damage from that, unsurprisingly. That is so much extra range, mostly because of the attack stars. All the stars past 17 give us a lot of attack on our items. If we manage to have also got our cape, our character would easily hit 10 mil combat power, and that is such an insane gain. A big boost to our damage, and I am very confident now in being able to do a lot of new bosses. Another thing I just remembered is that I did level up to level 240. I did this right before I went to sleep, before this Starforcing event, and yeah, we hit level 242, which unlocks us Celis, which is really nice. Celis is a pretty good training spot, and I do think that it's worth training there for the time being just to get to 245 to get into Moonbridge. But most importantly, we do get our level 240 rewards, giving us 100 symbols, 50 node stones, and 2 experience node stones as well. For now though, I think that'll be it for this video. I don't think I have enough time to run any of the bosses at the moment, so I should be able to run the bosses on the next part, or maybe even on stream. I think my damage is actually good enough to very much do normal slime at the very least, but I think I have a good chance at doing both easy lucid and easy will. And depending on how fast I clear these bosses, I might be able to sneak into either a normal party or even a hard party. I'm not holding my breath too much about hard will and hard lucid because I am still missing the superior Golic set, which adds a lot of damage for us. I don't have any other pieces on at the moment, so probably be able to party into lucid and will, the normal version, to get the droplets. But for now though, we'll just focus on getting our normal slime clear and maybe easy versions of these 2 bosses. We need to get back a lot of money so then we can start giving our items some potentials. I don't think I'll be Starforcing anytime soon, even though there is a 30% coming up. I don't know if I have enough money to do anything with it. If we get lucky enough to get a superior belt drop, maybe we can try fodder into that, or maybe we'll try onto the top for our CRA piece as well. I am very poor at the moment, but that will just build up over time. Anyway guys, thank you all for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the series so far. Thank you again for just supporting me and my channel. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys have been enjoying the series so far, please give the videos a like, it helps me out a lot. And if you would like to keep updated and catch my streams on YouTube, please consider subscribing. Take care guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.